I'm Mark Jensen, and this is Cheryl Sklors, and we bought the Murphy house here in Onawa.
On December 16,
We moved in.
2016.
Yeah. Don't move in December.
We moved in on January 9th,
Yeah.
2017.
Most people our age are downsizing, but we couldn't afford to buy anything smaller, so we bought this house. And it's a pleasure to live in. House was built in 1880 and been remodeled a couple times, but a lot of the original stuff is still here. And so we like old wood floors and banisters and doorways. And where else are you going to find 7-foot doorways with foot-wide molding around all the windows? I counted, there's 35 doors in this house and 45 windows. They remodeled the kitchen in 2005, so it's got a very nice modern kitchen, nicest kitchen I've ever lived in. And a few new rugs here and there, and it looks brand new. In 1857, the Whiting family bought the land that this house sits on. And then in 1880, they harvested trees on their farm near north of town and started building the house. It's all brick. All the walls are a foot thick brick.
The brick came from Turin.
Turin, Iowa, 5 miles away. And I never thought I'd live in a pink house, but the brick is pink. And the Whiting family only lived here a few years, and then they sold it to the Murphy family, who were here for 80 years. And that's why it became known as the Murphy house. 2 sisters ended up here. One had never married, and the other was married. Her husband died, and she had 1 son. And so the 3 of them lived in the house there in the end. And the Murphy family owned it until 1993, when it was sold to the person that we bought it from.
When the son of the Murphys married his wife in 1934, they honeymooned in Mexico, and while they were gone, they had the house totally revamped for the interior. The wife said the interior was too dark and dreary. So when they were gone, they had someone paint all the woodwork white to brighten up the house.
Bring light into the
And to
house.
bring light into it, because she wasn't going to live in a dungeon. And then they brought back the tile for the upstairs fireplace as a memento of their honeymoon,
Which is still there.
which is still on the fireplace upstairs.
In 1857, like I said, they bought the land that the house sits on. However, that was the same year as the Spirit Lake massacre in Spirit Lake, Iowa, where 20 white people were massacred by the Indians, by some renegade Indians. So the high-tech answer to that in the 1800s was to build a lookout place to look out for Indians. And so this house has a 4th floor cupola or turret or lookout place where you could watch for Indians. You're a good probably 60 feet off the ground from that point. So that was the real answer to the real potential fear of Indian attack at the time the house was built.
It's an interesting piece of history to be living in a house with
tie-ins to
tie-ins to
far
the
back.
past.
Yeah. All of the decoration on the outside, around the windows, and on the ridges, it's all tin. It looks like it's wood. I think they call them dentation, and the corbels, they're wood or plaster normally, but in this case they're all made out of tin. So that's why they're going to be 135 years old and still be around.
The side porch has the original brick floor in it, which is made from the ground up.
Yeah, it's solid all the way down. And 135 years old?
And
That's
standing
impressive.
as firm as it was the day it was built. At the time the house was built, this was the biggest, fanciest house between Sioux City and Omaha.
I'm sure that's not the case now or for many years, but it's just kind of fun fact
It's
from
a fun
history.
fact.
Yeah.
It is.
And that it was written that way in the paperwork that we looked at. It was a statement. And because this house is special to us, we have Cece, and she's getting on in her years, but still a fantastic dog. And so we thought we better get a dog that was big enough to run around this house. So we bought Murphy, named after the house we're living in.
He's 8.5 weeks old. We bought the house through Century 21. Aaron Bircher was our agent, and he was fantastic when it came to not pushing into making a decision, being knowledgeable about properties, finding properties that would fit what we described as what we wanted. Got our house sold in a week, or 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah, he did.
In fact, Aaron
Fantastic
showed
job.
us other houses to buy instead of this one, thinking that this one might be too much for us. But when we called him and said we wanted to look again, I think he was pleasantly surprised that we did want to look. And I believe Aaron saw the vision that we had for this house and could see that this house was sad when we bought it.
It was sad.
It was a sad house. It had been on the market for 4 years, and it just had a sad feeling to it, and I don't think it has that anymore.